try to just be present.
Yeah, good.
And then when I'm by myself, if I see something, it's also my hobby that I love photography. You know, I was a photojournalism major, one of my majors
Cool.
in university. And so I see things and I can kind of frame them, and I love to try to capture it. And then you go back later and you relive those memories. And to me, it's not for sharing always. It's for me. And as we
Yeah.
get older, the memories. In fact,
Yes.
I just read about something saying you should always do a life plan every year. And when you're doing your life plan, you go back through your photos on your phone. And especially if you don't take pictures a lot, then the things on your phone are the most important to you. So if it's a bunch of flowers or if it's houses or whatever it is, it's interesting to say, hey, those are things that probably made me happy, and then
Yes.
add them into your life plan for the next year.
What a lovely idea. And I realize, because you have this facility, don't you, with Google Photos and stuff that says, yeah, this is what you were doing at 2:30 3 years ago. Would you like to do more of this, or would you like to see more? And yes, I love it, because I forget about all the wonderful things that I've done and experienced here in Portugal. It's such a rich life, and I can't possibly remember it all. And you know, that doesn't bother me especially, but it's such a lovely surprise to see all these things that have been sort of slipped from my most immediate memory. So yeah, good advice there. Yeah, and I'm with you. I love to kind of compose and capture images and save those. So no, I think I was very good about that when the family were over, and I was very quiet actually. Got a lot of catching up to do on that basis. So what's going on then down your way? You've got this lovely property to share with us, a dream pool villa with a Tesla, 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. And I tell you what, let's chuck in an extra apartment as well. Solar, luxury kitchen, and it's gated too. More generally, what's going on? How are things down there? And then we'll have a look at the video, shall we, as well, in the background?
I think it's great. Summer's in full swing.
Yeah.
So we have some tourists, but we don't get a lot in Vila Real de Santo Antonio, right? We only have 3 hotels. So a lot of people that are here, it's really nice. It's Portuguese with second homes, second apartment, second home. So it's really nice. We kind of get the feel of the Portuguese getting dressed in their resort wear, wandering around town and going out for a nice dinner. Like you really feel like you're still in Portugal. They're experiencing their holidays at
Yes.
the beach, right? And
Yeah, same here.
it's so nice. We've got movies on the river. We've got concerts in the square. You know how it is. Everything just, the camera has spent so much money on like a continuous stream of bands, and it's free. And in a lot of my videos, I'm still shocked after, being here going on 8 years now, because you and I arrived about the same time, right? 2017. And just seeing, it's midnight, it's 1 a.m, kids are on the parents' shoulders, everybody's singing and dancing. And I did a little video clip of that as I was leaving one night, and it's like 1 a.m. And I think I did the shot at midnight because I said, it's midnight. Do you know where your kids are? Because that was a commercial in America. It's
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? And then I said, these people do, because they're all with their kids. It's just such a great lifestyle.
You mentioned something that I was reminded of, because we've got a similar sort of thing going on locally. San Martin de Porto, very, very busy at this time of year, of course, and very popular with the Portuguese and the Spanish and people, Portuguese people who live in France ordinarily. And so we're very busy. And that thing you describe, probably about 9 o'clock in the evening, you've got people with their glad rags on, as we say in the UK. They've brought their holiday clothes. They've got their linens on, and they've got their shoes that they bought especially for the holiday, and they're coming out of their apartment or their hotel, and there's a whiff of fragrance as well, some posh fragrance they might have bought, and they're going out for dinner, aren't they? And they've really made an effort in the way that when you live there, you don't necessarily go to such extremes or effort to do that. So yeah, I was reminded of that about going on holiday. It reminded me of UK people going on European holidays and taking special clothes to go out in the evening. Is that the sort of thing you mean?
Well, I just think maybe more for dinners than the
Yes. Oh
festivals.
yeah.
'Cause yeah. The festivals, we all dance and get, hot and sweaty and gross. And they even had one festival where we started off with Zumba. And my friends and I just got in the middle and started doing Zumba. We're like, oh, shoot, this is only the first hour. And we're already like gross. So
You need that old lady. Did you see the old lady who was hosing down the Volta, the cycling tourist, the cycle tour
No.
races? I saw this video of a lady standing in the street. I think she was a bit of a Arvo, the grandma in central Portugal. And a police motorbike comes along, and she's got her hose, and she's spraying the GNR man on his bike, GNR police officer on his bike. I'm thinking this could end badly,
Yeah.
but no, it's 40 degrees. She is hosing him down,
Oh.
and he's loving it. And then another one comes, and he takes his helmet off, and he's getting sprayed. And then the Volta Tour comes through, and they're getting sprayed. She needs to be hired, or she needs a little army of grandmas who go around festas spraying people down and cooling them down. I think
Well, maybe that's what we need. Yeah, it is nice when you get to a place and they've picked up on the fact that it does get warm here, and they've got the misters. You know, when you're in a restaurant, they've got the misters.
Yeah.
We had that in Seville, because Seville, being inland, even gets more heat.
Yes.
It's crazy heat, and so we get that hot, dry. Probably. I don't know British English. 82 is 28, so 90 is really hot, right?
Yeah.
In the hundreds and inland, I always equate it to, from California going to Palm Springs in summer. You just wouldn't do it, but sometimes you do when you do it so hot. Those misters.
Yeah.
So
good morning to Street Smart Guides as well, and Steve Friedenberg. Good to see you here. Yeah, popping to Madrid. That sounds nice. So suffice to say, you're having a lovely summer then, and some decent weather.
For living in Portugal, it's always a lovely time. It's always a lovely time,
Absolutely.
I don't go to the touristy areas. You'll just, it's chaos.
It is. We'll get our town back here in a couple of weeks' time. Right.
Is yours a tourist area? Is yours?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Proper touristy. Yeah, for sure. But only for those, couple of weeks of the year. Actually, the shoulder, as I think it's called in tourism terms, it used to be like August, because all the kids are on holiday, and people and the parents are on holiday as well from work. Everyone, we talked about this yesterday, the chaos that's causing now increasingly. It was all right a few years ago, but now when everyone's going on holiday at the same time, it's causing an unnecessary chaos, perhaps. But anyway, that was a situation.
August in Europe, avoid it. Just up. If you don't have kids in school, if you don't have to have your vacation in August, avoid it. September's beautiful.
It can't continue, can it? And this is what's going on in San Martino. It was August, definitely. You'd stay away from town, and I have been doing so. But it's like the first or the last couple of weeks of July and the first couple of weeks of September, you're still feeling it a bit. And, fair enough. It's probably better to have a longer season with fewer people, but let's see if that's how it actually turns out. Yeah, San Martino de Porto is a secret tourist spot for the Portuguese. Absolutely, for sure. And there's a good geocache here as well, I understand as well. So here we go to the East Algarve with this incredible place. 4 bedrooms, 5. That should be enough bathrooms, right, Veronica?
Yeah, there's more. You gotta love it when there's more bathrooms than bedrooms. This is Steve and Wendy.
Why is that?
Right. Sorry?
Why is that? Why have they? Is it just
because you have to have one for your pool, and then one for the apartment downstairs that hasn't been kind of fitted out yet. So it's this monster room that's. I mean, the square footage, as we say, square meters here, is almost half the size of the house underground. Well, not underground, because you see how this is kind of 2 levels here. And the nice thing about this one is ramps, because as we age, right, ramps. And this is where the underground, it's not underground because it's not underground, but I guess it is. It just didn't seem like it was underground.
I like that emerging like an alligator out of the swamp into the street. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But this couple's American. Hello, Steve and Wendy, and you can just catch us on my YouTube. And they redid everything. And I'm like, you got an American refrigerator, and little features like this where you open the door and it's got all your sodas, and then you close and open it again, and then it's got another whole chunk of things you can grab and go, plus the interior. So they've redone everything. The house was only built in 2001, and they've still redone everything, completely customized the kitchen and our thick Portuguese walls, right? So all the light fixtures, and they've put solar in every single room. So they've got 6 6 units of the, heating, air conditioning, split units. And oh yeah, American style. We buy every spice in the store.
They're
We
going to
don't
be
need to go
okay
to the
for
store. We
any
have it.
occasion. Yes, look at it. Look at it. How well stocked. Is all of that staying? Some people are going to want to
Some
buy
of
all of
it
that.
is actually, if anyone wants it like that, that's all staying. All the
Yeah.
silverware in the drawer and everything, because they're going to move back to the States. They had some family issues. I think this is one of the things you need to plan on, but they're happy they had the time here, right? I mean,
Yes.
to live in Europe, prices only went up, so they made money to live here, right? Even though they redid a house, they'll be coming out just fine.
Yeah, and hence why the vehicle's coming with the car, because I suspect it might be a return home, and you're buying the complete package here, aren't you? And this is, they've done all the hard work basically, haven't they? If you just want to get into a life here in Portugal, this might be one way of doing that.
Yeah, and it's got 2 masters, which is nice. So as we age, whether your parents are coming back to live with you or the kids are working remote, to have 2 masters en suite's kind of nice. Or if you want to be a helicopter parent and keep your kids home with you forever, you can say, look, and there's a door that goes off to the swimming pool. You don't even have to come in for breakfast. And they do have covers on the furniture. So if you have your little animals, I think it's a great house for dogs because they can just run around in circles. Those ramps. There's no locked.
No, it's amazing. Tell us more about the location, Veronica. So East Algarve, right? So what if people who don't know the area, what can they expect? What's the location like?
So this is a development that's in the country. So you have a development with about 200 homes, and they're all custom homes. So each one is different. And then it's in the countryside, and it's about 5 minutes to the town of Castelmoran with the largest Corvo. I think that's the headquarters of Corvo, but a really large Corvo that's even open on Sunday. Oh, that was the door to the pool from the other master they built. Nice. And then it's 5 minutes to another town, which would be San Bartolomeu, which also has a train station, Monte Gordo, Villarreal de Santo Antonio. It took me about 10 minutes to drive there. So you're right at multiple options. You're kind of at the top of where you could go in 2 different directions to hit beaches this way, river this way, Altura that way. It's kind of nice. It's just north of Monte Gordo and west of Castelmoran. So you kind of get this country feel, but you're minutes to everything. And they've just put in a really beautiful bike trail. It's one of the bike trails I go on. And it's segregated from the highway with posts, which is really nice. So you don't have to worry about people deciding a good place to pass.
Okay, so there's lots to do there. Let's bring Carl Hyde on to take a look at this with us as well, because he's on the move, I think. Morning to you, Carl.
Morning.
There he is.
Hello.
Hola, buen dia. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm having technical problems this morning, so I've had to come sit in the car and do this from my phone because I've got no audio on my PC. So, yeah, I'm relegated.
I thought it was all the guests you've got using your Wi-Fi, but not that on this occasion.
No, they've all gone. Okay. You know what? This is where I come sometimes to do calls because it's the only place I can guarantee it's going to be noise free because the kids are still off school. I think it's another 3 weeks that they're off school.
3 weeks?
Yeah, so it's just hell, wonderful hell. But no, all the family have gone back. So, I mean, we had people here for like 3 weeks up until Sunday. So the house was just, at one point there were 6 kids in the house, 6 adults. It's just madness. So I'm still recovering from that. I may look a little bit bleary-eyed, but that has just been a summer of busy, So
sounds great. Well, you take it easy. Just like breathe out for a moment and relax in your vehicle. There, we're having a lovely look round a 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom villa with pool, complete with Tesla, which presumably is optional. And not everyone wants a Tesla these days, but it's for those that want to just come and have a complete life. There it is. And this is
because they have solar, right? Because they have solar, then you're getting you don't have to pay for fuel. So you just plug it in because your solar just your electricity's
Sounds
free.
amazing.
So
Why would, Carl, why would somebody not want a Tesla?
oh, where have you been? The whole you're being suspicious. Oh, I didn't get it. I'm being dumb.
It's that great British sense of humour. Apparently, you sound like Paul McCartney today, anyway. So
He does. He
Bit of
looks like
British
him. We look
country.
great with the black.
right. We have a turnkey property. That's what we're talking about. Is that you could land, you could fly into Faro. And come and move into this. They've done all the hard work. The fridge is full. You've got a Tesla to roll around in, and in a wonderful part of the world. So people can get in touch via you for this, can they, Veronica? You're helping them out sell this.
Well, they're listing it themselves and letting buyers agents come in because sometimes. It's unfortunate. It's hard to find people like you guys where they're going to always answer their phone. And so sometimes the agents, if they're not picking up, it can actually filter people from seeing the property. So he was a real estate agent in America. So he's answering all the calls and filtering people and saying, you can come in, agents can come in. But here, unfortunately, and where he's at, it's a little remote. You can get agents who just don't want to take the drive out there to show the place. So a listing agent doesn't always do great things. So on the YouTube, if you just go to Good Morning Portugal. If you go to American in Portugal, look at me reading. If you go to Good Morning American in Portugal, in this video in the bottom is notes just to WhatsApp them directly and all the notes of the property. And you can bring your buyer's agent, no problem. They'll pay a commission. It's just here. It's pretty remote. There's not a lot of agents around here and not a lot that work full time and not a lot that I've trained. So
yes, and there's a good deal on the Tesla. Okay, so T-Duck, you might be able to buy that separately. Is this one and the same as Stephen here? Thank you, Stephen, for being here this morning. A little video come for. I need to turn this video off, but I don't want to because I'm enjoying this view of the pool. It's built for a bit around the pool, really, isn't it? This lifestyle here.
Yeah, and they redid the stairs because his wife had a knee injury, so they made it super easy to get into.
Cool. Okay. All right, lovely.
Oh, it's about to show the most important feature of the property.
Okay, let's stay with the vid. We got one from Carl as well this morning.
I think it could be now. It could be in 2 seconds, but
no, we're all right. Me and Carl are just nice. Oh, the barbecue. Okay, yes.
Weber. Oh, Weber.
Hold on a minute. There's a Merc convertible too. Yeah, I'll have the details of that. That sounds great. The Merc convertible rolling around San Martino in that bad boy. Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's for sale too. I think he may have sold it though, but that one is for sale. He just needs to get rid of it. He doesn't want to, of course, but All
right. Incredible. Okay. Thank you very much for bringing that to us this morning there, Veronica. Carl, how are you? We'll talk, of course, about the real estate situation in your respective areas, but also the overview in the country. How have you been, Carl? Very busy with family. Very much in August for you, by the sound of it. What else have you got to share with us this morning?
Honestly, I'm just getting back into the swing of things because it's just been crazy. It really has. And usually I do work through when I've got guests. But this time I decided to take, like a couple of weeks off. I was still working, I was still doing visits and things like that, but trying to really just take a chill pill because real estate is pretty full on. So it was nice just to switch off from it a little bit. So I am literally just getting back into it this past few days after all the family have gone. But it is busy. I sent you a link there. Very short video of a property that I was at yesterday in Sesimbra, with great views. It is just a picture of the views because it's not ready to list yet.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
But yeah, it's like a T4 property. Needs some renovation, but it's going to be priced well and not far from the beaches of Sesimbra. Very quiet area, very tranquil. Lots of space. So coming to market soon on that one. That's what I was doing yesterday. So yeah.
This is Sesimbra, not far from the Arabada National Park, famous for its James Bond sequence. Was that a body on the? Is that a body
You know
on
what?
the balcony? Hold on
You know-
a minute.
You know
Is that the
something?
neighbor?
I didn't even. I'll tell you the story with this one, right? I didn't even realise I'd caught the girl there in the video.
Could be
Oh,
worse.
that looked so bad. So this lady, this is being sold by an American family. So they're originally from Portugal, but lived in the US most of their lives. And this lady got in touch with me through my Instagram, and we got talking about the house. I went to see it, and then we kind of figured out that she's originally Cape Verdean. Her parents were Cape Verdean. As you know, my wife is Cape Verdean too. So we had this sort of this kind of thing in common, and we've gotten on really well. So I went there yesterday, and her daughter was there from the US, and she was sunbathing on the top deck as we went up to film. And I didn't realise I'd just caught her legs in the shot there. So there we go.
These are our
That's what
favourite
that was.
real estate promotional videos. However, it's a sneak preview, especially for Good Morning Portugal. That's not what's going to be ending up in the public domain. That's just in case you want a lovely pad in Sesimbra, Arabada National Park, just down from Comporta and those wonderful areas that are getting a lot of heat in the international real estate press, I think. Really great part of the world, that. So that's going to be coming onto Carl's books very soon. Anything else you want to tell us about that one?
Well, it's a T4. The loft space is just down on the plans of storage, but could be converted. You know, if you want to go to the camera, get yourself an architect and whatnot. If you wanted to expand it, it's definitely expandable. Put some dormers there, looking out onto that fantastic view. It does need some modernisation. There's no doubt about that. The current owners are actually just doing some remedial works to it now to make some repairs. So it's going to be a project for someone, but it's going to be priced well. And so I don't think it'll be on the market all that long. That's my prediction. But it's just in a great place. I mean, you're kind of out in the sticks, but you're only probably about 7 or 8 minutes from the beaches in Sesimbra. And then, like you said, you've got the national parks nearby and all that kind of stuff. Yet you're still just not that far away from Lisbon, you know. So it'd be great for somebody, you know. It could be good for a family. It could be good for people looking to retire and wanting the peaceful life. All options covered.
Love that area. Right, in the last couple of minutes, we've run out of time here this morning, and we always like to check in with you about what's going on with your local and also national real estate picture. Let's stay with you, Carl. What do you think you're going back to? You've had a little bit of a rest, it would appear, in August. What sort of real estate scene are you going back to in the capital?
I think things are a little bit sticky at the minute, personally. It's not just as fluid as it has been. But it's not like we're seeing any reduction in prices or anything like that. That could just be the time of year as well, because obviously August slows down. I think you were saying just before I came on the show how busy Portugal is in the summer, and that does take people away from work and things like that. Plus, a lot of families have already moved over, made the move, or were well in the process of making the move because they want to get the kids in schools and things like that. So you're going to naturally see a little bit of a lull. But overall, the market's still strong. But I'd say, for me anyway, it feels a little sluggish in parts. But you know, that's normal. That's the nature of the beast, kind of thing.
And we're not going to know, are we, if the PR from the immigration thing and continuing problems with IMO D7 are denting? Because I think the picture's too mixed and confusing to know what's causing that potentially.
Well,
that's
it. As we know, I mean, I've got a lot of friends here, clients, and whatnot, that have been here for 2, 3, 4 years, and they don't know what their situation is going to be. So it doesn't help if somebody's thinking of relocating to Portugal if there's uncertainty about what the I guess not the visa process, but what the
long-term
and things like that. People need clarity, and they don't need the goalposts being moved. I think that's one of the worst things, you know, moving the goalposts when you're already slap bang in the middle of the process. So I really don't think that's fair at all. But yeah, that uncertainty does affect things from particular markets. But there are other places as well. We've got a lot of people coming from Brazil. There's always a good amount of traffic, coming from Brazil, looking for properties and things like that. So especially in the capital and Cascais and things like that. So it's not solely focused on kind of like the North American market, but yeah, the uncertainty it doesn't help. Of course not.
Of course, and we'll get clarity on that hopefully when everyone does get back to work, including and especially the politicians in September. Thanks, Carl. Easy does it then, and back into a successful autumn for you. Fingers crossed for that. And Veronica, what do you make of this? Are you feeling any effect or influence with the politics, the immigration stuff, and also IMA's continuing inefficiency?
I think we're seeing some people get fed up and leave. I think we are,
Right.
I had another couple that it was time for their 2-year update and they couldn't get appointments and they're just like, whatever, we've decided we're going to just go somewhere else. And I think when you're in the right frame of mind, you're not just like, okay, I'm going to go home. I think, again, what we always say is you need to be in the right frame of mind and making the right decision when you come here. Like you want to come here because you want to move to Europe and travel and integrate and be part of it all. Because in any different situation, if you're disillusioned, that's a big move back. And making sure family's settled, all that type of stuff, or a long-term plan for aging relatives, what's going to happen. We do have some people that are here part-time and they're part-time. But I think it's easier to get disillusioned or to be upset or not feel good when you're not 100% prepared and 100% here. That said, where I have seen some people leave, where we hadn't seen that in the past, where people were leaving, they just don't feel as welcome. And it's kind of the cherry on the top when they're like, okay, this is just another piece of bureaucracy that I thought was a checklist item, but now that just is unobtainable. And we've had 3 presidencies, right, in the past 2 years. 2024, one left. 2023, one left in December. Then one came in January. We just had another regime come in this year. So to Carl's point, the changing goalposts, I think people who are retired and looking to move to Europe, it hasn't slowed down because on this property, Steve was able to get every single phone call and he's had a ton, and that thing was almost sold in a week. Yeah. So there's still a quantifiable large amount of people wanting to come here. I think, Carl, why you might not be seeing it as much is because if you have a lot of agents there, and if they're seeing property and calling those and then registering with those agents, they're not getting to you. And it's unfortunate because then those agents sometimes get so busy and they can't call you to make those appointments. So I think there's got to be a more fluid way to say, hey, you know what, call me directly. No matter what, if you have an agent, I'm going to still make sure he gets paid, but don't stop looking at the property because your agent hasn't replied to you. Or if your agent is not replying to you and continue not replying to you, call him and release some of his obligations and hire a new agent.
Because, I mean, that kind of thing's always been the same. But yeah, I do think the negativity around it just makes people hold off on decisions, which, don't get me wrong, we still got a lot of inquiries on a daily basis from all over the world. But I just don't think it's as strong as it's been in the past, but it's part of the course. And again, we're in the summer now, so a lot of people have already made the choice, they've already made the move, or the deed is about to be signed or whatever, they're signing off on properties, whether it's a rental or a purchase and things like that, because they want to get ready for the kids being in school. That's a big thing for families coming here. And being where we are, there's so many international schools and things like that. A lot of people are moving for that reason. If schooling's one of your top options coming to this country, then most likely going to end up in the capital or Cascais, somewhere between the two, because there's just so many top class international schools there.
Get in
for
touch
sure.
with Carl for that. If you're moving with a family, you want access to decent schools, Carl's your man to talk to. And just more generally speaking, I think the challenges we're talking about are a reflection of global uncertainty as well. Portugal's not alone in this picture. And it's still a fantastic place to come. I think we universally say that, and we'll pack up when we don't think it's a good place to come. There's no point in us doing this show. We think it is, and people have their own personal circumstances. And a really important consideration, I think, is that uncertainty is often a kind of emotional reaction. So as Veronica says, make sure you speak to people who really know what's going on and who can really properly, professionally help you, because it's all doable, even if it is a little bit volatile and difficult as the world appears to be at the moment.
That's it. And I mean, I do, just from this network that we've got, we've got, people throughout the country. We've got Raquel Batista, who knows a lot of stuff. I speak with, or I ask questions to Heather Binder occasionally as well, because she's got a lot of people coming over. So she knows quite a lot of stuff. So, for me personally, I've got the network at the agency, and our knowledge base there, but then just this sort of Good Morning Portugal network that we've got, between your guests, there's a large knowledge base there. So definitely good for people to reach out.
Absolutely.
We've got two great referrals right here. The Carls.
There you go. There you go.
I didn't mean to say, don't stick with your agent, because I always say be loyal. But if they are not doing their job, you have two guys here, two gentlemen who are happy to do their job and are trained and are just in their heart. They want to get you the right thing. They want to help you. Like, they get it, that your home is your home. It's not just a house. It's where you live. I feel like an advertisement, but my goodness, I send them people, everybody loves Carls, so
these
are referrals.
That's our Netflix series. Watch out for that. Everybody loves our Carls.
But it is important, because if you get one who's going to stagnate the process versus one who's going to really be your advocate and find everything for you, that's kind of where it's really, really important. And if you're not feeling
I think just to say it quickly, just one of the big problems can be, I know I don't work like this, but I've seen other agents who do it. They're looking for a deal that suits them. That can be a problem. That they're going to filter a lot of stuff out that is going to be too difficult for them, or the commission's not as good as another place. And I do see that happen. I genuinely don't. I just always I either sell for the most, or put a table of offers put the offers on the table for my client and say, these are the 2 offers we've got on your property, the 3 offers we've got. You pick the best one that suits you. It doesn't matter if there's a buyer's agent, whether it's a direct client, because that affects the commission rates and things like that. But I do know some agents don't work like that, and definitely do. I've got examples of it. It's so frustrating where you get, they're not working in their client's favor. But so if you're not happy, move. Simple as that. There's plenty of good agents out there. We've got loads at the agency, all over the country as well. So, certainly reach out to me or Carl.
Let's have a chat about that. Okay, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, Veronica, and to you, Carl. And here's as we look into it, feels a little bit back to school and the autumn. But the great thing about the autumn in Portugal is it can be hotter than a British summer. I'll be lucky, Carl, which doesn't take much to be fair. All right, have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye for now. Nice big round of applause. And we'll see you tomorrow.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to